I'm going to crash out about Saints Row at some point, so...
I'm probably going to maybe do a little yelling about Spider-Man. I still haven't
we
finished...
can shit-talk that game.
I have not finished the game.
Oh, you didn't get to the part where Peter ports Miles, bro?
Peter? He fucks this, 16-year-old boy?
Yeah, yeah.
Peter the pedophile.
And then he does an apology video.
He does an apology video. Hey, guys, it's me, Spider-Man. You might have heard... that I was on top of the Empire State Building giving the other Spider-Man backshots in 4K. And I know technically he's a minor, but the fucking Spider-Man backshots.
Dude, Spider backshots?
He would backflip and he would web. He would do the thing like webs and he pulls, but he pulls his dick.
Yo, he's sitting there going, right? And he said, I can't get enough grip. And he just starts webbing it.
It's like the scene from the
Toby
from the McGuire ones where he's trying to hold the train back.
That's Miles trying to hold the bad shots back.
Yeah, that's Miles. He's got webs on other buildings. He's like, ah! You can see his suit ripping.
Oh my god. The Empire State Building starts to lean.
Starts to lean a little bit. Starts to do this with the force of the back shots.
Oh, man.
Hello and welcome to the 192nd installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I definitely knew what number it was. I'm your host, Chris, joined by other host, Jordan.
That's me, and he definitely knew.
I definitely knew. Jordan. Yeah. You gotta remind the people where to find the show in 2025.
Dude, new year, same us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed linked below. Also, Instagram, TikTok, you can check out Schwartz there. And we have YouTube and Spotify with a video platform. Contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, death threats, little kitty bit stuff, city stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Last note, last episode, we joked about how Google Podcasts is no more, but I'm not taking it out of that rant. We are officially on YouTube Podcast. Apparently, we actually have been for most of the time. YouTube Music Podcast.
Right.
Because YouTube surprisingly did something pretty smart and detected that the folder we put the playlist we put these in is called the Synapse Misfire Podcast, and they were like, I think this is a podcast.
It's a podcast, I think.
So they actually auto-migrated everything over. So if you go to YouTube Music, look us up, you can find our podcast there, and it also has the video platform.
Yes.
That's probably the only time I'll say that, because that is a pain in the ass to say every time.
Oh, no.
Fucking ruined my intro, bro.
Sorry. I was trying to read the Snapple fact, and I went, and inhaled all the liquid in my mouth.
You ever just be like, this drink is mighty good. Now I'm just about to hit the... why my body let me do that?
I choke on stuff so often because... Don't give me that look.
Stuff of what nature?
I was going to say liquids. Fuck.
Coagulant, solids, but fuck.
Cylinders. I mean
tubes. I mean
tubes. I mean sausages. I mean fuck. God damn it.
I mean viscous. I mean fuck.
Anytime I drink something, though, actually for real, if I'm drinking something, sometimes. So I don't know if this is just part of my ADHD, where my brain will zone out, and then my throat is like, all right, we can relax now.
You got that epiglottis.
And then the liquid just goes right into my lungs.
Yeah.
So I choke on stuff often.
You know what my big thing I do is if I'm trying to drink out of a bottle like that, not a straw, is I'll tip the bottle back and I want to drink as much as possible in that one sip. So I'll try to open my throat a little to fit more liquid. And when I do that, I literally go, and I'm like, I waterboard myself, dude. Why am I so fucking dumb?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Imagine just having one job. Just take a sip, and your body's like, nah.
Would you just want to drink liquid, and your body's like, no, we can't do it. We gotta breathe.
we gotta breathe, bro. Man, but welcome to 2025. Chris,
Yes,
Chris, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a year. Actually, that's a lie. I was here on New Year's.
I haven't seen you since last year, except I saw you on the first few minutes of this year.
Yeah, because I was here till 1 or 2 a.m.
He was at my house.
Yeah, I was here.
On New Year's Eve. It was pretty cool.
New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, dude. I sat here for a year, bro.
Yeah, over the whole year, dude.
It's crazy.
So I've been on vacation.
Yeah,
since December 20th. I go back on Monday, unfortunately.
That's rather unfortunate.
But you know, I'll be honest. I thought I was gonna have this like sense of dread and like existential, you know, whatever, and hatred, and like I don't want to go, I don't want to go. But I'm like, man, I gotta get out of the house. I gotta get out of the house. I gotta do something else.
That's part of it. You know what the other part of it is, Chris? Unlike myself, you probably actually enjoy your job slightly. Like, you probably get some sort of gratification from it.
It depends. There's a lot of times I don't.
Fair.
There's a lot of times I do. When I do good, I like my job. But when I do bad, I don't like it.
Yeah.
When stuff is hard, I don't like. But yeah, I go back after 2 weeks. But I've been mighty productive in 2 weeks. Finally get around to playing Spider-Man 2. I'm on like literally the last part of the game, and I have not booted the game up for like a week.
You gotta beat that before you go back to work, though. You have to. Like today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
You need like probably another 40 minutes, bro.
I imagine I do. I'm probably just gonna do it tonight.
When we spoke last, you said you were like fighting Venom. No.
Yes, I am.
That is, believe it or not, Chris, that is the guy.
Yeah, I know. I was looking. I'm on the last mission.
Yeah,
I'm on the last mission.
You literally need like 40 minutes. Yeah.
So when I was playing Spider-Man 2, I'm not doing like a ton of the side stuff. It's like I don't know if I care. That
surprising.
Much. I care a little bit. I'll do some of the more interesting. Like I did the thing with Miles where you save the museum, and I did the thing. You save the museum, and I've done some of the crime stuff, and I've fought some of the hunters. I've collected a bunch of the spider drones.
That is a cool ending if you get them all, but it's short.
How many are there?
Fuck if I thought it was like 28 or something.
Oh, okay. I was like, if there's like 1,000, I'm not fucking bothering with that.
Craven. Oh, no, it's 42. That was gonna be my first guess, but I seemed too high. It's 42.
The fight with Craven, I almost fucking snapped my PlayStation in half. So here's what happened.
Spoiler alert.
You had to fight Craven, but that day, it was I'm gonna play this and then I gotta do D&D. It's like, all right, so I got like an hour to do this. So I'm fighting this guy. And he keeps fucking beating my ass because I suck ass at video games. So he keeps beating my ass. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to turn this off. I'm getting mad. So the next day I woke up and I went, I understand it now. And I did the fight first try. And then after that, you as Miles Morales have to fight Peter Parker, Spider-Man, as because he's kind of been taken over by the symbiote. And I fucking mopped the floor with Spider-Man.
It's funny because we had like the opposite experience.
It was brutal too. There was a point where I just kept hitting buttons as Miles. I was like, come on, you let him get up. And I was just beating the fucking shit out of this guy.
That's crazy.
Just, bam, fucking a lightning punch. Bam, up, bam, lightning bolt. Bam, fucking up in the air. Pa, 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 web. Pa, 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 pa.
Backshot.
Backshots. 4K Spider-Man style.
Now it's my turn.
I webbed his face to the ground and started fucking him to death.
The symbiote ran away. It was like, I'm out of here.
Symbiote was like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here right now. I'm in danger.
You're at the end, you said, right? So you have the other suit?
Yeah, the good symbiote.
Right, I was going to say, that's how you got the white suit.
The white suit, the cum suit. But I fought also the part where MJ gets taken by the symbiote. You gotta fight her.
Dude, stream? That was hard.
That fight was fucking difficult, man.
Most
that one,
of them are, yeah.
I didn't have to turn off the game with that one. But there was a couple times where I was like, I understand it now, and then immediately got hit, and I was like, all right, I gotta reload the checkpoint because like she'll hit you. There's the one attack that if you don't dodge it, she like grabs you with her hair and then slams you on the ground, and it does like 70 damage or something.
Yeah.
That shit was really annoying.
Yeah, a lot of people meme that part of the game because they say like Peter got bested by a fridge because he gets thrown into the fridge and then it falls on him. And he's like,
True, yeah.
Underneath the fridge.
I think I think the game's pacing fucking sucks.
One of the worst, yeah.
If I'm talking about parts I didn't like that didn't involve me being bad at the game, the pacing of the game's fucking terrible. It's like, all right, action-packed, you're fighting, you're Spider-Man, bah, 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 bah. Now you're gonna fucking run around as MJ for a while.
Yeah, at least they gave her a gun this time. That's the only thing I appreciate.
Yeah. But I was like, man, can Venom just rip her in half so I don't have to fucking play as this bitch anymore?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of fucking MJ sections, dude.
Yeah.
I delete that from the game, or it's like, oh yeah, action pack, you're fighting the hunters. You're fighting the hunters, and now you gotta walk around a lab for a while with your buddy.
Yeah.
As this is the fucking the foundation.
Emily May Foundation.
Yeah, and you gotta walk around this fucking lab and you dick around with a drone with little bees and shit. Like, this is stupid. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Why am I not Spider-Man here? Why is there Peter Parker in my Spider-Man game? I want Spider-Man only.
The game really needed to focus up and, like, really extrapolate the symbiote part of the game. Because it's like you get the suit, and then it's just gone. Like, it's like...
Yeah,
I don't know.
Also, not to also be that guy, I do think this game does a better job of... It does a better job of showing why Spider-Man should keep his villains alive. But I'm still on team fucking kill them.
Yeah.
Like, in the beginning, when Miles Morales, when Miles sees Martin Lee sinking into the river and he's about to drown and he saves him, I would have just let him die. I would have just fucking let him die. He blew up the town hall and killed my dad. Fuck that guy.
In the moment, I probably would have let him die too.
If I was Peter Parker in the first Spider-Man game, I would have webbed the guy up, and I would have webbed 2 webs, one on his feet, one on his head, and I would have ripped him in half.
Yeah.
Said, fuck you, buddy.
But then how would Martin save Peter later in the game?
How would he save Peter? And that's the only thing that I'm saying that, like, I think it does do a job of being like, well, Peter killed the guy. He would have died here. Like, okay, great. But, like, I want revenge. I want Miles to strangle this guy to death.
Yeah. I feel like the game does really weird power scaling, by the way. Like, the first time, if you haven't gathered, I already said it, but this is a spoiler territory. The first time you fight Kraven, where Peter, actually does die and the symbiote saves him.
Yeah.
Like, what? Really? Like, really? He's just going to get stabbed and killed? Like, he didn't see that coming?
Yeah.
Just tingle him?
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing that I keep fucking pointing out while I'm playing this game. Like, where's your Spidey senses here, pal?
He doesn't have them.
Whenever it's convenient for the plot, his fucking Spidey senses don't work.
Yeah. Like, when he first gets stabbed...
He can dodge machine gun fire, but a guy with a knife going, knife in the ribs. Gotcha, Spider-Man. Gotcha.
Like, I get that Kraven is kind of a badass. I get that. But, like, come on. You're not having him just shank him with a combat knife? Like, come on. Like, at least if it was like a beatdown sort of thing, like what Doc Ock did, where he's fucking whipping him around and smashing him and whipping him through walls.
Yeah.
And he just gets tired and he's like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. Really? Just fucking prison shanked the guy? Like that?
Just fucking I feel like Spider-Man should be, like, immune to getting shanked, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like he'd see that coming.
I think... Bro, he fights real supervillains with real magical powers.
Yeah.
And a knife got him?
Like, imagine if in Miles Morales, when you first fight Rhino and he runs through the mall, if he just horned Peter right through the chest and killed him.
Killed him instantly.
Like, that's basically what happens.
Like, Spider-Man's guts are splattered all over the fucking walls.
It's like you got hit by an 18-wheeler.
Also, I think, personally... If I was one of the Spider-Men, I would do something to J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, I'd touch him.
I would have, I don't know, I would like, fucking Rhino got out of prison again, and I'm going to lead the fight over to J. Jonah Jameson's house.
Yeah. I'm going to use the house as a weapon. I'm going to throw it at Rhino.
I'm going to use J. Jonah Jameson as a weapon. I was like, come here, buddy. Bam, bam, bam.
I'm gonna use him as a club.
Like, I just think personally, if I was Spider-Man, there would be like his radio show that comes on, and it's the Spider-Men, they're menaces. Oh my God, he's outside my window. He's looking.
Someone called the police, and then
he's looking at me right now. Someone, this is serious. Someone, please call the. And the broadcast gets cut off.
You just hear on the other side, and then it's gone. Done.
I think personally, yeah, I would touch J. Jonah Jameson.
Fair.
Yeah, the game has like some fucking ridiculous pacing. It's fun. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think my favorite power scale thing, because power scale was a big complaint of mine for the whole game. Like, I just feel like things did not ebb and flow like they should. And the way the developers explained it away was that Peter was burnt out. And that's why, like, his Spidey sense doesn't work. And he's getting stabbed and getting bested by a fridge and shit. But, like, and also they explain it with the whole Martin Lee thing of, like, Aunt May's death weighing him down or whatever. But, like, the only level of power that they showed in that game that I truly was like, I fuck with that, was when you fight Kraven as Venom and you just mop the floor with him.
Yeah.
You absolutely eviscerate him and then just kill him unceremoniously. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Like,
Yeah.
Venom would, in fact, do that. Like,
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I feel like there's no redemption arc for Kraven because he's just gonna die anyway. Because in the
They
story,
gave him cancer.
he has cancer in the story, so and like quite advanced aggressive cancer at that. So like he's gonna die anyway. So if I was Peter, I would just strangle them right there.
just saying, dude, a cancer patient fucking killed Spider-Man. Like, that's crazy.
That is an insane thing to think.
Like,
Also, I think this is just a thing across superhero media in general, but like, you spend 10 minutes beating the fucking dog shit out of Kraven, and then at the end of the fight, like, it'll snap into a cutscene where he gets his, goes into his second phase or whatever. It'll snap into a cutscene, and he's not a drop of blood on him. He's not bruised. He's just like,
he's not even sweating.
You're fighting him, and he's like, oh, fuck, oh, God, I'm dying, oh, God, oh, fuck.
You're tougher than I thought.
And then the cutscene happens, and he grabs Peter by the face and, like, fucking rips his face off like a chimpanzee.
He turns his ass into Slender Man.
Turns his ass into Slender Man.
Like, yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, the game is, like, just... But it's fun. I like it.
I would say it's like a solid 7.5 and 8 in my opinion.
I feel like I kind of liked the first one a lot better.
Oh, way better, way better. Way better.
I think the first one just like makes a little more sense.
The windsuit pisses me off.
There's still some weird pacing stuff with the first one, but like it's not as bad as it is.
Yeah, like what's the most egregious pacing thing besides like the MJ missions in one? Is there like anything else that stands out? You have some of the lab stuff with Doc Ock, but that's pretty short-lived because he turns crazy pretty early.
Yeah, I think it's just that, really.
Yeah, you really just have the lab and MJ, and in this you have the lab, the other mini games in the lab, like the bees. So, I don't know. 2 was... I'm going to play it again probably when it comes to Steam, and I'll have a second opinion on it. It also just tried to straight up copy Web of Shadows with like the whole symbiote city overrun thing. And like... I guess that's okay, but like, where are the Avengers, bro?
That's a good question. I also think, like Spider-Man Miles Morales is like I think a pretty well-paced game. Like it's way shorter, and you can play it in like half the fucking time, and it's just like mostly action.
It's Spider-Man doing Spider-Man things. There's very little Miles in that game. There's a little bit.
There's a little
enough
Miles,
to make you care.
Enough Miles for me to care about Miles. Yeah. But like that's the perfect amount of the guy that I want. I only want a little bit of Miles Morales. I only want a little bit of Peter Parker. The game should be like 5% Miles Morales or Peter Parker and 95% Spider-Man and 0% fucking MJ. 0%. Yeah. Get her out of the game.
Yeah, no, I feel like the Peter and Miles thing I can get behind any time of the day. Like, even if it was 10%, if it's paced well, where it's like, I'm not just doing lab studies, but maybe I'm like understanding more of their character. The MJ stuff I just find inexcusable, and I don't particularly hate it in 2, because I think it plays fine, the MJ sections, but I just don't think they're necessary. Like, don't get me wrong, the scary section with MJ running from symbiote Peter is pretty cool conceptually. Like that's a pretty awesome section where it's like you are the hunted essentially.
Right.
But then again, with the whole power scale thing, instead of making it like some sort of story progressor where she's talking to him and she's like, Peter, don't fucking kill me. They just give you a taser and you're just fucking tasing the Spider-Man. Like, this is fucking stupid. Like, that's what I don't like. If they made it a truly, like, they should have made that shit first person, gave him the AI of Alien from Alien Isolation, had me creeping the fuck around this underground tunnel, I would have been for it. But
had him be like the fool from Resident Evil 2. What is it? The guy, Mr. X. He's
Mr.
like
X.
always around the map. He's always on the map. And he just shows up and fucks with you regularly.
Like, not to mention, this is Spider-Man, so, like, where Mr. X is a big dude who goes through doorways. Like,
he's a skinny little guy.
You could, like, turn a corner and he's on the ceiling. Like, that'd be awesome. Yeah. But, like, no, they just, I don't know.
I think they also had to, like, I don't know. They had to kind of bow down to the fact that the game's rated T as well in a lot of cases. And I think this is what a lot of superhero movies suffer from, because a lot of the movies are PG-13. Mm. And when they're rated R, they're like so much fucking better.
Yeah, I'm just mad. Like, yeah, it's rated T, so you didn't get to see Kraven kill like any of the super amazing villains that are now eliminated from this universe.
You fucking killed the guy. You stabbed him once, and he died instantly. This guy that Peter Parker took 15 years to fight.
Yeah. Like, and yeah, the fact that he killed the villains he did, it's kind of like a big FU in a way. Like, I get it, it's Kraven the Hunter. But, like, they basically killed off the cast of the first game. Like, I don't know, that's just crazy to me. I don't know. But, who knows, the third one, if they end up, like, actually continuing the series, could be very interesting. I mean, we saw in the first game that, like, Norman's fucking insane whenever it comes to Harry, so, like...
Yeah, I was expecting some, well, not expecting, but I was hoping for a little bit of Green Goblin action.
Yeah, he's not in it. I was like, no, okay.
I was hoping for a 1-for-1 recreation of the Spider-Man scene. The fucking, I started this company. You can't do this to me. And he goes, out am I? I want that scene in the next, because they already model Norman Osborn as like, he's like almost Willem Dafoe in the Spider-Man games.
Very similar.
Just as like every J. Jonah Jameson has been like almost J.K. Simmons since he was played by J.K. Simmons in the Sam Raimi.
He's the greatest. Yeah.
Because he played it so well.
Yeah, I really like the J. Jonah Jameson in the Insomniac games. I like him a lot actually. I think he's like an amazing recreation. Of
I like him in a sense that he's like a little more. Not in a very egregious way, where I feel like there are some games or some media that has done this a little more ham-handedly, but like he's a little more Alex Jonesy, and I feel like that works really well for his character.
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely not on the level of fucking insanity that that you would hear on like, but like if Spider-Man was real, I could picture Alex Jones going on a rant exactly like this.
Yeah, fair.
Like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think that makes real sense for his character because he's this like, this kind of hardline sort of conservative newspaper owner, shock paper owner.
Yeah, who's been boned by society many times over.
I like that part of his character. I think that works really well for him.
I think that's one thing they do better than J.K. Simmons' interpretation, where he's just kind of like a dickhead boss.
Yeah.
In this, he actually has some nuance and some reason, because in the comic books, J. Jonah Jameson's like reason for hating Spider-Man is it was either his wife or his daughter didn't get saved by Spider-Man. Like, he failed to save her and she died during like a villain fight. So now he like despises the guy. So it's interesting, you know.
Personally, if I was Spider-Man, I'd be like,
tough.
JJ, listen, there's only one of me. Do you know how much fucking money the New York Police Department has? I'm one guy. I'm in high school.
16. Yeah.
I'm in high school. I'm a junior in high school. What do you want from me?
I have chemistry in 10 minutes.
I have to get to class 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. I have finals next week.
I can't save everyone. Why aren't you mad at the cops?
Why aren't you out there, bitch?
Yeah. Why don't you put on the fucking... So he takes off his mask. Why don't you
Puts it
put
on.
this shit on?
I quit.
Asshole.
I
Fuck
fucking
you.
quit.
The web shooters. Here. Fuck you. You go do it, asshole.
That's when it cuts to him trying to use web shooters and like jumping off the roof and ripping his arms out of the socket.
Rips his arms right off.
Oh, man. Yeah, but... Yeah, we'll probably do a deeper talk on that game at some point, but I'm not crazy about it, truthfully.
Yeah. Also, I had the misfortune of watching Joker 2. More spoilers for that.
Tell me about it.
The movie fucking sucked.
I haven't seen it, but I have not seen a positive thing about it.
So here's the thing. I've seen Joker 1, and I liked Joker 1. I thought it was okay. I feel like there were certain people that look like me that were decrying this movie to be a masterpiece, the first one. Don't think it was that. Yeah. I think it would have been a lot better if it wasn't a Joker movie. But I liked it. I thought it was fun. I was like, this guy just kind of, he's a little kooky. He kind of loses it a little bit. I'm like, all right, interesting, right?
I can get behind that.
The second one, kind of like, okay, so the second one is a musical, which I already should have known. Musicals piss me off. I already should have known going in that I'm like, I'm not going to fucking like this just by virtue of it being a musical. The first, like, musical section of the movie doesn't happen until, like, 25 minutes into the movie. And, if they didn't do the musical thing, it would be fine. Like, it would have been a fine movie if it wasn't for all these stupid musical sections. That, again, the theme of today's show is pacing. That totally fuck the pacing of the movie. Here's a scene of Joker's court case, and he's firing his attorney, and he's having this like weird manic rant in court, and then hard cut to like, here's this weird stage scene with Joker and Harley Quinn, and they're dancing on stage. I'm like, fuck you! Get this off my screen! Get this off my fucking screen! There's this, and there's a couple of plot contrivances that are weird, right? There's a couple of plot contrivances that are a little weird. In the beginning of the movie, after Joker meets Harley Quinn, she just shows up in his solitary confinement cell.
Okay. And
he's like, because you also, as a person watching the movie, assume the same thing Joker does, where you're like, oh, this isn't real.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of moments like that in the movie where shit just isn't real.
Yeah, because he's crazy.
And I'm like, okay, this isn't real. But it is? And she's just like, yeah, they let me in here. What do you mean they let you in there?
What?
They just let you in solitary inside the cell?
Is she Harley Quinn, the crazy person in this movie, or is she Harleen Quinzel, the psychologist in this movie?
A bit of both.
Did she work for the prison? Like,
no.
That would make slight sense. But...
No, she like checks herself into the psych ward, basically.
It doesn't make any sense.
And then lies to Joker and says like, oh yeah, we have the same tragic backstory, and just completely lies to him while trying to like psychoanalyze him or whatever. Is
it Blackgate that they're at? Or do they not tell you the prison?
I think I don't remember. I wasn't paying very close attention.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because like she's a psychologist there.
I don't think it was. I think it was. I think it's just Arkham Asylum. But he's in just fucking solitary confinement, and they just let her in. So I'm like, oh, this isn't real. And there's, she like puts the Joker makeup on him, so she's just allowed to have that there.
She brought items with her too. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like she puts the Joker makeup on him, and they have sex. And I'm like, okay, this is just a weird fantasy that Arthur Fleck is having. And then later on, she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, in a scene that's actually happening. I'm like, what do you mean? Wait, so that was real? That she was really there with him?
Are they trying? So, aside from the pregnancy thing, is there like any other allusion to the fact that it's real, or is it like just possible that like that's fake, but they had sets off screen, but they're trying to bait you?
I have no fucking idea. This is such a weird part of the plot. If they didn't include that part of the plot, and then they didn't include the weird musical bits, so like if they rewrote 5% of the movie for that, and then they got rid of the 20 minutes of musical shit, and it would have been like a tight, like a tight hour 45, and it would have been like the first one, and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
It's like the first little bit of the movie. There's points of that movie where I'm like, okay, this is good. I like this.
We're getting places.
And I will say, for all my complaints about the movie's plot, the cinematography is fucking really good.
Is it?
Fucking fantastic.
First one had good cinematography.
There's a lot of really, really interesting shots in that movie. But yeah, there's just this weird plot contrivance there. Oh, they just let me in. And I thought that was like, oh yeah. That makes sense that this is totally a real thing. And also the part where essentially what happens is Joker, at the beginning of the movie, Arthur Fleck is being brought to trial. He's being brought to like talk to his lawyer before trial for a competency hearing, basically. And he has to walk through the ward that Harley Quinn has checked herself into. Mm-hmm. And there's like this dumb little like singing activity that all the people in the ward are doing. And they have their like meet cute moment where Arthur Fleck sees her for the first time, and she like stops him. It's like, hey, and again these maximum security prison guards transporting a guy who killed 5 people.
Are totally okay with it.
Are just like, come on, Arthur. Let's just completely ignoring the fact that he's trying to like move away from the whatever. So then what happens is one of the guards who's like kind of buddies with Arthur, kind of not. Like kind of buddies in the way that like they're kind of buddies, but like he like fucks with him a bunch. But he also like gives him cigarettes. So
makes sense.
But he's like, I got you into the singing thing. You can do the singing activity with everyone else. But he's in cuffs the whole time, basically. But he does the little activity, and then him and Harley Quinn talk more, and then he goes back to his regular cell, and then like the next day, there's like they're having a movie night at that same psych ward, and he's just also allowed to go to that, no cuffs, and he's sitting next to Harley Quinn. They're watching the movie, and then again, another scene happens where I was pretty sure wasn't real, but it happens anyway, where Harley Quinn gets up and lights a fire in the psych ward, and they both run out of the psych ward, and they all both run out of the prison, basically, and start trying to scale the fence.
Okay.
And this isn't seen as like, this is just these two people doing this. Why didn't they just shoot this guy who they know is very dangerous and is running away?
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all.
But yeah, that was another part. I was like, oh, this also isn't real.
Yeah,
this is another weird fantasy that he's having. And they just run out of the prison, and they try to scale the wall, and then whatever. It's fucking stupid.
That is like insane. Yeah.
This movie.
That is like someone wrote a fan
sucks.
fiction, basically.
It really is like that. I just don't get it. I don't understand how this happened. Cause hey, there was also the option of just not making the movie. You could have just not made a second Joker.
Yeah.
Also, at the end of the movie, he goes to trial, and then he has his like kind of come to Jesus moment. It's a televised trial, the first televised trial ever. It's the Joker trial, and he finally has this whole thing that they're trying to push on the court. That's his legal strategy, is that Arthur Fleck and the Joker are two different people.
Yeah, it's split personality.
And he kind of basically, when he fires his lawyer, he's doing the Joker bit, where he's like very charismatic and he does funny accents and whatever. And then at the end, his final hearing, he's like, he just pulls up a chair to the jury, which, by the way, even in legal dramas, they like kind of cut things off and kind of try to maintain some semblance of like what a courtroom would be like. Yeah. Even in legal dramas, there isn't this much fucking leeway with just being able to talk.
Yeah.
But he pulls up a chair to the jury, and there's a camera behind the jury stand. And he's like, well, I was going to come out here as Joker and do like a big rant, but there isn't a Joker. There's just me in here. And he just admits to whatever he did. And then he goes back to prison because they're going to give him the chair. They're going to kill him, which fair. He admits to the sixth murder, because he kills his mother in the first movie, but they don't find out about that because there wasn't any witnesses, and she was dying anyway.
Yeah.
So he admits to the sixth murder. He goes, he says this. He goes, no one knows this, but I also killed my mother. No one knows this. Well, everyone does now, buddy. Yeah. But hey, he was gonna they were gonna kill him anyway. So, he goes back to prison, and then some guy, I think was like kind of his buddy. Oh no, there was the guy who was like kind of his buddy in the prison, one of the other prisoners, but I think he gets choked to death by one of the guards.
Huh.
But there's another guy who's like, basically Joker has a visitor. Oh, you have a visitor. The guard pulls him into a hallway, and this guy stops him. And so again, this is like a maximum security prison. Yeah, so again, there's way more leeway with like people moving around through the prison than they should have.
Yeah.
But the guard just leaves Arthur and this other guy alone in the hallway, which makes me think that it was a setup, the whole thing, because, the guards hated Arthur after like his display on television, right?
Yeah.
And they get this guy alone in the hallway with this other guy, and the other guy just fucking shanks Joker to death.
Oh, he dies?
Yeah, he just gets stabbed a bunch of times and dies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I was actually like, thank God. Like, fucking fuck this movie, fuck this guy. I think the people who were in the movie did the best with what they had.
Yeah,
but
like actor-wise.
I think the writing could have used a bit of work. And the musical numbers were stupid.
How was Harley Quinn as Lady Gaga, right?
Yes.
How was she? I've seen she's a decent actress.
It's okay. So. I mean,
yeah.
Definitely, like, again, in the same way that, like, Joaquin Phoenix plays, like, a very different Joker than, like, every other Joker. She's, like, a very different Harley Quinn.
That's fair.
But, yeah, that was, like, yeah. She was all right in the movie.
Yeah, that sounds like worse than I thought, honestly, though.
Yeah, it was stupid and bad.
It's disappointing.
Joaquin Phoenix, though, also committed to this role a lot. Like, he was in the beginning of the movie and throughout the movie what looked to be dangerously skinny.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was very, very skinny. You could see all his bones. He looked gross.
Ugh.
Like, this guy had to have not eaten for a week to get ready for this role.
Yeah, it must have been.
He looked fucking emaciated. He looked terrible. Even more so than in the first one, because he's kind of this skinny, scrawny guy in the first one. But in this one, he like, have you ever, when they have like the ASPCA commercials with the dogs that are like starved to death?
Yeah.
That's what he looked like.
Jesus.
He looks like an abused dog.
Damn. That's
So
crazy.
he committed to that fucking role, though. So I will say that. Overall, to put a number on it, it's like a 4.
That's what I was gonna say. I
I think
figured
a
it'd be it.
4. If you really liked the first one, I guess it's worth watching. If you got 2 hours to kill, I guess it's worth watching. But like, you can skip this one.
Yeah, sit this one out.
You can sit this one out. I feel like
I feel like Kong was better.
Godzilla. Oh, also it's on HBO Max, which also Godzilla vs Kong is also on. So just watch Godzilla X Kong. Sorry.
Yeah, that was way
Just
better.
watch Godzilla X Kong, which was actually like unironically a little like a way better movie.
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. Yeah,
Actually, like a entirely enjoyable watch.
yeah, like the whole way through. Good pacing too. Actually, had pretty good pacing.
A lot of funny stuff happened in that
Alex
movie.
gets yeeted around.
Yeah, there's that little monkey that looks like Alex.
Gets slammed.
But yeah, that's it. That's the movie. I had to crash out over this fucking movie. It pissed me off.
Yeah. You know what I played, Chris? Is that what you got for Joker?
Yeah.
Everything? Yeah. Put a cap on that one.
If they release another one and it's just as bad, I'm going to turn into the Joker. If somehow there's another plot contrivance where like Joker sucks his organs back in, and he's like, I'm alive now.
I've lived.
I'm gonna turn into the Joker.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna dye my hair green.
Yeah.
And paint my face white.
Makes
I think
sense.
I'm gonna be the Joker now.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And then I'm gonna shoot a guy on live TV.
And yeah, it'd be just like the Joker. Actually.
He's just like me. I have the picture of Joaquin Phoenix up against my face. He's just like me.
Jesus Christ. But you know what I played? I played a controversial game, Chris. Very controversial game. I played the new Life is Strange game, Double Exposure.
Okay.
And
What's controversial about it?
just the story in general. They brought back Max. She's older. She's like 20.
I don't know. I feel like they gotta stop making those games.
Their
It's like the first one's good.
second one's really good.
Before the Storm is pretty good.
Yeah, the
I
second
haven't
one.
played the second one.
Second one is phenomenal, actually. Like story wise.
And then there was the other one that they just made.
yeah, True
And
Colors.
then there's this new one, apparently, which I haven't heard about at all.
Yeah, so True Colors is the one you're thinking of, the other one that was made. I didn't really care for that one a lot. It was a whole new character, different powers that weren't as cool. She was basically a empath. So, like, if you were raging about Joker, she would all of a sudden start raging for no reason. And, like, she had to learn to control that or whatever. She would basically...
We gave her the power of human empathy.
Yeah, so, like...
What a fucking stupid...
So like that's part of the story is where like someone's cussing her out, and normally instead of being like, all right, listen, like stop, she like punches him in the throat or whatever because she's basically sucking their anger and making herself angry. So yeah, that's like her power.
Okay.
So that one was whatever. I don't remember much about it other than that. And like your brother gets like blown up by dynamite, I think.
What?
That's part of the story. I think if I remember correctly.
Is he an 1800s coal miner? What the
No,
fuck?
you're close though. So it does the Ubisoft thing, if I remember correctly.
Oh, where they're like, this is your best friend, and then
Oh,
5
yeah.
minutes into the game, he gets shot and killed.
So the game is like, I think your mom died or something. So you move back in with your brother in this tiny mining town, and then he's like, "Yo, Alex, because that's your name." He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you around. I'm gonna show you the stars at night." And then you do that, and dynamite goes off in a coal mine, and the coal mine collapses, and the debris from the collapse crushes him, and he dies. And then you're really angry, and that's when you lose control of your empathy powers, brother. And then you have to solve the mystery about how the Megacorp was the one who planted the dynamite to sabotage the town, to buy the land, to make big business, because fuck society. That's the whole point of the game. Yeah, that was Life is Strange True Colors.
I just can't get behind that power. The power
Nah,
is
it's kinda ass.
When people are angry around me, I get angry too.
Yeah,
So does everyone, asshole.
yeah, pretty much. So that was that one. That one was ass. I didn't like that one. I give that one like a 5 out of 10. The new one, Double Exposure. I was really excited for it when it got announced. I didn't care for the fact that they brought Matt's back because I'm like, come on, man. Like sometimes I just like when characters are just done. Let them disappear, you know? You can do Easter eggs and talk about her, but I don't need to play as her again. But I was there for it, even though it is basically a recreation of Life is Strange 1. So Life is Strange 1, this is going to be total spoiler territory, obviously. Life is Strange 1 is your friend dies, you find out you can rewind time, you go through a series of juvenile events, and then you go through different dimensions, and then at the end of it, you have to choose, do you save your girlfriend and therefore sacrifice your town, or do you save your town and you have to let her die and basically undo the events of the entire game? That's Life is Strange 1. Life is Strange Double Exposure is years after that, you're out of school again, but this time, instead of being the photography student, you are the photography teacher, and your friend dies. She gets murdered at the school, just like the first game. But this time, you realize that you can't rewind time to save her, but you can go to a different reality where she's still alive. So if you can, dimension hop, you can, solve her murder, and therefore you can go to the other dimension and prevent her murder, because you've solved her murder, so therefore you knew who was going to do it. Yeah, double exposure, bitch. So that's the story. I'm joking, making fun of it, but it is actually executed very well.
Really?
So this is what pissed people off.
I can just imagine Max, she's just her friend dies, and she tries to rewind time. She can't. She goes, man, this life, it's so strange.
Life sure is strange.
It has
Splash screen pops up.
This life, it's so, and then it does the invincible thing, whereas life is strange.
Yeah, that's funny. That would actually be kind of ironic if they did something like that. So the game, it's Life is Strange. You know what it is. You walk around, you click on things, you make dialogue choices, you romance or not romance, etc., etc. Here's where it became controversial.
If this is a stupid, man-baby complaint, I'm going to fucking crash out again.
You might classify it as that, but I don't know if it's quite man-baby. But basically, I told you about how Life is Strange 1 was those two decisions. Well, the writers left from Life is Strange 1.
Oh, that can't be good.
So it's a new set of writers who have openly, online, stated, we hate Chloe Price. She's a piece of shit. We hate that character. So essentially...
She kind of sucks.
Kind of. When you make when you start this new game, you make the decision of what you did in the first game. You have to tell the game essentially what you did. And essentially they punish you if you chose to save Chloe. They throw it in your face. They ruin their romance. They actually, if you read the Steam reviews, what really had people pissed is if you choose the option to say you saved Chloe, all of the dialogue around her, Matt just brushes her off as yeah, she was just a friend of mine. We kind of had a thing for a little bit, but nothing big happened. She was whatever. I didn't really like her. So we broke up, and I haven't seen her in 10 years. If you choose what I chose, because genuinely when I played the first game, I was like, I'm not sacrificing a town for this bitch. What the fuck? I saved the town, personally. So if you choose that, the game, praises you, essentially.
I'm telling you, when that last episode of Life is Strange dropped, the Bay over Bay discourse was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
There were people picking sides. There were people swinging fists.
Yeah.
It was a war for Bay versus Bay.
Yeah.
I chose
Arcadia
Bay personally.
Bay with a Y or with an E?
I believe I might have done both. I might have reloaded and done both, but I think the first one I saved Chloe.
Yeah. I've done both, but my first one I saved Arcadia Bay.
I was 14, and I was like, yeah, blue hair. I love blue hair bad bitch. I love it.
Yeah, fair. But so basically that's a big part of people being upset is they really heavily dismiss Chloe if you chose Bay, her. They heavily dismiss her, and they purposefully, spitefully make the writing around her yeah, fuck that bitch. She's a piece of shit. I don't know where she is, and I don't care.
I wouldn't say that about her. I would say she's flawed as a person, but
yeah. But in my scenario where I chose the Arcadia Bay, I had no issues with the writing. They wrote there's plenty. It's ironic because there's plenty of scenes where Max talks about Chloe, and the voice actress, I think her name's Talia something, fucking kills it. There's such emotional scenes around Chloe where they very clearly respect the character enough to make that version of the ending. Max is distraught with the decision she made. There's this huge moment at the end where she basically has to make the same decision, And it's an entire character arc that goes full circle where she's like, I'm not fucking doing this. I'm not making this decision again. And the performance is excellent. So they truly like respect that ending. They just hate the Chloe ending for some reason. So that's most of the complaints. But essentially the gameplay is the same as the first, 3 games. You have these powers. I guess it's different than 2 because in 2 you don't have the powers. Your friend has the powers. But your brother, not your friend. So in this game you walk around in the dead world and the living world, and you essentially kind of trick characters in both worlds to push your agenda to like figure out this crime. And it's a little redundant. Some of the stuff you do is kind of meh here and there. It has its slogfest moments like every other Telltale or Life is Strange game, but overall the story is really good. And I have to say, Chris, it is some of the like most authentic voice acting I think I've heard in a game, especially a game of this genre.
Interesting.
Like, the way characters talk, like, I'm not someone who usually romances, like, the character the game wants me to. But, like, both romance options in this game are, like, very good. The interactions are very wholesome and, like, really authentic. And I'm like, man, I could go for both of these people. Like, fuck. This is, like, it's hard. Like, versus, like Cyberpunk. I was just Pan Am all the way. There was no one else that I thought V, specifically male V, I never played female V, had, like, good enough dialogue with me to be like, I actually care about these characters. Like, Rivers, whatever the fuck.
I imagine canon-wise, male V, I imagine is supposed to end up with Pan Am. And canon-wise, I think female V is supposed to end up with Judy. And then there's also, you could also romance Carrie, who rolled with Johnny Silverhand, which is weird to me. So I imagine V is probably like, in his 30s maybe at the oldest.
Yeah.
Late 20s, early 30s. And if Carrie rolled with Johnny Silverhand, he's at least 75. Like, at least.
Yeah.
Bare minimum, he's like 75.
Yeah, so it's weird.
So you're just hanging out with this 80-year-old man.
Yeah, that's
imagine if I was kicking it with Joe Biden. Like, that's weird, right?
That would be kind of strange, yeah.
If Joe Biden and I had a fling.
That would be crazy.
That would be weird.
That would be wild. But, the dialogue, I says, it's excellent. And the romance options, excellent. The characters are all actually likable. In my opinion, I have a pretty high tolerance for insufferable characters, but, like, I didn't find any particular character, like, insufferable. Every character that comes on screen, I was like, I want more of this person. Like, I enjoy this dialogue, this interaction. The Mats is Mats. They give her that awkward sort of goofiness, but she still has those really powerful emotional moments, just like the first game. The main girl, Safi, who you're trying to save, is, like, really well acted, where she's got her friendly haha moments, and then the big plot reveal where, like, there's this other shit going on, and she's, like, a totally different character, and she's, like, got these manic moments. Like, she has a whole range of moments and emotions that she goes through. And I thought the game was really well written. I have one complaint, though. Right when it ended, I was like, okay. It ended pretty openly, kind of like the first game, where, like, I didn't necessarily feel a satisfying conclusion, but, like, this mystery was solved. And then they just had to do it, Chris. They had to do it. The credits start rolling, right? I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied with this game. I'm done. And then they did it. The credits end. Mats will return. And I'm like, why are you bringing her out for a third game? Why are you doing this?
Oh, man.
Like, why? Like, are you serious?
I can't hang with this, man.
Like, why? You had her as a baby in high school. You had her as a baby in high school where her friend gets murked in a bathroom. She goes through all this trauma. It's a really interesting and, like, amazing story for the time, especially. Like, such a good game. You drag her out for the second game that's already controversial, but I thought was pretty good for my ending. Sure, the ending wasn't the most, like, damn, stamped, closed, we're done. Yeah, there is room I could see for this character to keep going, but, like, why? Like, what is the purpose, Like, my thing is, what are you going to do with her powers now? Because keep in mind, the game ends. I don't think there's any way to change the ending in this fashion. You merge the two timelines together. That's how you save her. Is you literally take the two timelines and you make them one series timeline. So all the memories from both for all the characters cross over, and they're like, oh, yeah, we were in different timelines. That's interesting. And they just kind of accept it. And they're like, all right, we're going to work through this. It's like a trauma fucking circle where they're like, we need to, like, consolidate these memories and figure out what's real and what's not.
This is very reminiscent, going back to Spider-Man 2, where you have to get the artifact, the wand, the teleportation wand.
Yeah, from Doctor Strange wand or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone just has to reconcile with the fact that, oh yeah, magic's real, confirmed real.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, all right,
fair enough.
Shit happens, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Magic, right? I think I would question things less if there was like a mutant rhino running around the city and a 25-foot tall lizard man. I would question things less, granted. But instant transmission
and a gooey black alien as well.
Yeah.
That would
I'd be like, I just magic's real. I don't get it now.
Yeah.
So everyone just is like, oh yeah, multiple timelines. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like they consolidate all their memories, and now that's like Matt's thing. Her purpose is to like kind of help these people figure out like, okay, this happened in that timeline, that happened in your timeline, but like now they're kind of together.
I need to see I think the logical conclusion for this is that Max becomes like a gritty noir detective. And there's an opening shot, and she's in a fedora and a trench coat, illuminated only by the ember of a cigarette. She's like, I gotta solve every mystery. The mysteries of this timeline
are strange.
This timeline crosses over with the previous.
Life sure is strange.
This life sure is strange. Exhale cigarette smoke. Opening credits roll.
But yeah. So like I said, it's a good game. But also, what a lot of people didn't like, and admittedly, I was kind of like, about, is how the whole thing in the first game is the tornado.
Yes.
Well, they do the exact same thing. Her powers bring a tornado to the mountains. So it's not like a natural tornado. It is objectively a
mountain tornado.
It is objectively a supernatural tornado.
Right.
Because they're in fucking Vermont, by the way. So
not a lot of tornadoes out that way.
Yeah. So the same tornado appears, and I think what pissed a lot of people off is in the first game.
But in the first game, aren't they in like
they're in a bay.
Washington?
Yeah.
There wouldn't be tornadoes there either.
Yeah, but like. At least they're on the water, I guess. I don't know. It just kind of made sense.
A hurricane comes through.
Yeah. So in this game, though, that same exact tornado appears. And I think what also rubbed people the wrong way is in the first game, you're given that decision of Bay versus Bay, and there's no way out. But in this game, they kind of like undo that, where, like I alluded to, Matt's literally just goes, I'm not making that decision. Fuck this, and walks into the tornado. And that's how she manages to merge the timelines and get rid of the tornado and save everybody. But it's like, I think people were kind of slighted by the fact of like, well, couldn't she have done something similar in the first game and like saved Chloe and prevented the tornado? And it's like, maybe, but that's kind of character growth, right? Like she only did this. She didn't know she was going to fix it. She was just like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm over this. She basically just like walked into it to die and just so happened to find out that like that was a thing, Like there's no handbook on having these powers. So like, why would she have attempted that at 15 in the first game?
I don't know. I just think personally, I think it would stand to reason because like for me, having played like the first game and then the add-on that was there and that's it. For me, the understanding is that you can make like a selfish decision to save one person, or you can make the selfless decision to sacrifice that one person and save everyone, right? And then it's no one man should have all that power type shit.
Yeah,
and. I feel like maybe they should have done that with the second one, where it was like, you know what the right decision is. You know what you're supposed to do here.
You know what you did last time.
Like, and depending on whatever ending you chose, it'd be, well, I did this last time, so I might as well do it again. Or, if they really wanted to shit on the ending where you save Chloe, it could have been like I've matured. I'm a different person.
I'm not a little bitch.
I'm not a
bitch. Matt looks at the camera and goes, I'm not a little bitch who loves blue hair.
My life isn't strange.
And I know what I must do. And then just pulls out a gun and shoots the girl right in the head. It's like, fuck you, whore.
She goes back into the timeline, jumps back into the timeline where she saves Chloe, shoots her, comes back to the new timeline.
Shoots the other girl. Fuck all y'all.
Dude, fuck everyone.
Yeah. But it ended up actually being a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. I'm not looking forward to the third one because I really don't want them to bring out her again, like the third one with Mats. But I think there's a place for the series as a whole, as like a concept, because it is like Telltale doesn't really make games anymore. It's the closest thing to a Telltale game we have, and they're not batting that terribly. They got the first one, which is like incredible. The second one, which is very strong. It's a really good game. That third one I discussed, which I didn't personally like, but a lot of people did. And then this fourth one, which is a little bit controversial. So I think there's room for like the series and another one and another swing. If they miss that swing, then maybe that's where they call it. But
they just made it an anthology.
Well, that's what they do with the Until Dawn developers. They made the Dark Pictures anthology.
If they just made it an anthology, you know how you would read Goosebumps when you were a kid.
Hell yeah.
Different people, every book. Every single book, different people. Might as well be a different universe every time.
Yeah.
Because, there's zero crossover between the books. I feel like that's fine to do. Yeah. Not everything needs to be this, interwoven, interconnected story.
Yeah, I agree.
You can just do an anthology. That's fine, too.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree because, the podcast I listen to that does horror stories, they're all anthologies. They're not connected. And you get this new cast of characters. You get a nice fresh start. Things that, maybe you didn't like about other stories, they come up. People really didn't like the whole Bay versus Bay thing. Let's just do a new story where, we have a similar vibe.
Yeah, let's just do a new one.
Yeah.
And it could be another, teen mystery type thing. Life is Strange, Stranger Things type thing. Yeah. A lot of strange little kids.
Yeah, no, I do feel like that's one thing that is lost between the games. Like the first one, you kind of got that teen angst, that sort of teen bullshit going on where parents are trying to keep you in the house and stuff. And in this one, it's just you're just a woman.
You're just an adult woman.
You're just dealing with some trouble, but you're an adult. You got money. You got a car. You can do things.
I could just go back home now and do nothing.
You're not dependent on anybody else. But the first Life is Strange, and especially 2, by the way, because I know you said you haven't played 2, but the TLDR, without getting into crazy spoilers on that one, is your brother has powers. The government wants him, so you at 15 go on the run across the country to Mexico. So you're surviving by the means of a 15-year-old, and there's a lot of drama just involved with that. Versus if that was just a 25-year-old, man, bro would figure it out, But because you're 15, the characters make stupid decisions and little kid things come up and
I like the next game is going to lean more into the mundane where it's Max, she's 47 and she's divorced.
She's going through menopause.
That's actually the thing you have to fight is menopause. That's how it works.
She has to rewind time to get rid of the menopause again.
She's 47, she's divorced, her cat died, and she's got to go back and save him. It's called Life is Strange 7. We gotta save buttons.
Yeah, Mr. Sparkles was crushed by a F-150.
Mr. Sparkles, I let him out of the house for 2 seconds, and a flying ice cream truck came down from the heavens and killed him.
As you can see, these are 195 R15s from the tread pattern on his spinal cord.
This tread pattern, I know this.
Rewind.
This is a Continental dry wet snow tire. All seasons, I know this.
That's the big reveal. She's like, I have those on my car.
And it's her from another timeline running over the cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's even more inconsequential of a decision where she saves the cat and it just dies to natural causes 2 years later anyway.
A year later it gets cancer.
It's a 17-year-old cat.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I think that would be if they just leaned into the mundane. You're just a normal divorced single mom of 2. And that's the game.
Yeah.
You have no powers. No powers, no bitches.
The power of hot flashes from the menopause, dude.
Yeah, you gain a new power.
That's actually the anger thing, the empathy thing. You get angry really easy because of the menopause with the hormone changes.
Yeah.
So you're just very emotional. That's it. You're not sensing emotion. You're just emotional.
That's how the game works, and that's the whole game.
Yeah.
Instead of going on this epic journey to save someone.
Yep.
Or if they lean into this like weird detective angle, I think there's a way that could work too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could take the character and make her like
She's
an
like,
actual...
I'm on the case now.
I mean, having a detective that could jump dimensions and or rewind time would be kind of awesome. Yeah.
And she learns to like hone her powers, and it's sort of this situation where she's like, I get it now. I can use my powers for this, and I can use it to solve mysteries. And there's like this, she gets to a town murder mystery. I don't know, fuck it. Maybe it's a murder mystery. There's a secret guy on the loose. Oh, he's a vampire. What happens then?
She goes back in time and goes after Jack the Ripper.
Back in time and gets Jack the Ripper. The guy we're still not even sure if he's real.
Yeah. Fair.
I gotta find him. I gotta find Jack the Ripper.
That DLC for Assassin's Creed Syndicate is awesome, by the way. That was where the Assassin's Creed hunt down Jack the Ripper.
That's actually kind of hard.
It's cool. It's a really good DLC, actually.
So. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Can't believe they're still making those games, man. The Life is Strange games.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're in my mind they're 3 for 4. I didn't actually play Before the Storm. I wanted to, but I
liked Before the Storm. Before the Storm is like a tighter story. It's shorter.
Yeah,
but it's pretty good.
Well, here's my problem with Before the Storm is, funny enough, my second playthrough of Life is Strange was on mobile. They made a mobile port, and it was a really good port. And Before the Storm was one of them. But tell me why Life is Strange, the first game, on mobile, phenomenal. Intuitive controls, virtual joystick, everything. Life is Strange Before the Storm on mobile, fucking tilt controls. You tilt your phone to make the bitch walk in a line.
What?
Yeah, I don't even talk. I'm over it. Like,
I'm not even mad anymore.
That's why I didn't play it. That is literally why. And now to buy it on Steam, you gotta buy the remastered collection. That's just like $40. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, Before the Storm's like way more grounded.
Yeah, because it's not even like any powers per se, right?
No, it's just
it's just teen shit.
Yeah.
So it's just that it's Rachel Amber and like that whole origin story. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever find out who took her? It was Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
In the first game?
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was like any other lore of like if it was Frank or some shit.
Jefferson's the murderer.
Yeah, he's the murderizer.
He like, I gotta murder. I gotta kill women. I gotta kill women in my photo studio. I have to do it. I have to.
Yeah.
That's what he says in the game, for real.
Yeah, I forget if they like confirmed he kidnapped. I thought he had an accomplice. That's why I feel like they left an open-ended, like, ooh, there could be an accomplice. But
there could be a ghost. It could be Jack the Ripper.
Dude, that's what happens. In the next one, Matt has fucking what's his face? Jefferson's book. It's just like Jack the Ripper. I'm on the case. And
a forward. It has a you know, like the books will have like the forward either by the author or by someone close to the author. It has a forward and it says by Jack the Ripper.
Jack T. Ripper.
Jack T. Ripper. I must get on the case.
Yeah.
Puts on the fedora and the trench coat. It starts raining.
Yeah.
And it turns into a noir drama. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be fun.
If I was talented, I'd write that fanfic.
I think, personally, this same conversation is the same one they had when they were coming up with Joker 2. And they're like, what if it was a musical? That'd be fun. And then it turned out terrible, so...
So we might not be onto something, actually.
We might be onto nothing.
Hard nothing.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us today.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
Who's she?
Our writer. You don't remember her?
Oh,
you
yeah.
have her. She's tied up in the other room.
Yeah, that's the woman I force her to write stuff. Every episode is scripted.
Yeah, like, all this dialogue. I don't know why she wrote this. Like, this is weird.
This one, I'm looking at my script. It just says, "Help me, help me, help me. He has me trapped here. He only feeds me twice a week."
It says blanky blank road. Weird.
It says, "This is my address. My social security number's on here."
Oh, Chris, hey, you see those coordinates? Can you read those?
That's where we are right now, Jordan.
That's weird, yeah. Huh.
It also says we're about to get hit by an ICBM.
It says, hello, my name is Rachel Amber. I never knew it was Chris Jefferson.
And every time it's signed, I'm Jefferson working with Jack the Ripper. You're Jack the Ripper. Jefferson and Jack the Ripper. That should be the spinoff. That should be the spinoff after it's. They do 2 games It's 2 games, and one is Max trying to solve the Jefferson Jack the Ripper link, and the other game is from the perspective of Jefferson and Jack the Ripper, and they're fighting, and they kind of war with each other.
Yeah,
That's
there you go.
That's how it works. And it's
We gotta cut this one off, man. We're getting off the rails.
add Jack the Ripper to the next Life is Strange game.
Please refer to him as Jack T. Ripper.
Jack
though,
T.
please.
Ripper. And have Max be very confused about who that could possibly be. Jack T. Ripper, I wonder.
She's got like the fucking.
She's got like
board.
a cork board. She's like there's red threads between everything.
It's like.
And it says Kermit T. Frog, Winnie T. Pooh, Jack T. Ripper, and in the center there's a big post-it note that says "Connected?" ?
Big T Bird. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Kermit T. Frog and Jack T. Ripper.
All right.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Charlie T. Brown. Like, what the fuck? Is that all pop fiction characters? Spider and T-Man. Huh.
Oh, this could mean something.
Oh,
Hey
man.
guys, it's me, Spider-Man. They're all real too.
Spider the Man.
They're all real too. That's all part of it. Kermit the Frog is actually there. Oh my God! It's Kermit the. This life really is strange.
And then it just ends.
And Kermit just shoots her with a gun.
Just no powers.
Kermit and Jack the Ripper show up and Kermit, Jefferson, and Jack the Ripper show up and kill Max, and that's how the
Mutilate her.
game ends. And then after she's dead, it shows her beheaded corpse on the ground, and it says Max will return for another game. Max will be back. Jack will be back.
It's her funeral.
Their funeral, and there's a sign at the funeral in universe in the game that says Max will be back. And then the next game is hers a vampire, and she has to fight Jack the Ripper again.
It's Red Dead Undead Nightmare. She's a zombie.
She's a zombie, and she has to fight Jack the Ripper, and then in Victorian London.
Oh my god. All right.
We have to go. Jordan, remind everyone where we put this thing.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify Podcast, and the RSS Feed link below. There's YouTube Music, YouTube itself, Spotify, all have the video platform, Instagram, TikTok, and email us, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, death threats, little kitty bit city stuff, and most importantly, Life is Strange fan fictions.
Yeah, send us your Jack the Ripper cosplay.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
The more naked you are, the better. Don't do it. Don't do it if you're not an adult. Don't do it if you're not an adult. Don't do it if you're not an adult. Don't do it if you're not an adult.